it's Hailey, and today I'm going to be talking about my January TBR. So this will be the first video of the decade for me, the first video of 2020 that you will be seeing, which is kind of funny because it's actually not even December when I'm filming this. I'm filming it before I even start my Bookmas videos because I didn't want Christmas decor in the background since it will be after Christmas. So this TBR is a little bit subjective. It might change, but I do want to get back into doing monthly TBRs so then I can have a kind of list of what I'm in the mood for, and it might not end up being what I'm actually reading, but it will be kind of a goal. I always find myself during the month referring back to my monthly TBR videos because I forget what I included on them, and I'm sure this is one that I will definitely be referring back to since I'm filming it 2 months in advance. But I'm keeping a couple of things in mind when building this TBR. So one is the yearly goals and resolutions that I have set out for myself as far as reading goes in 2020. You guys will have seen that video by now. It was one of my Bookmas videos, so I'll link it down below for you guys, but I did think a lot about that while building this list. And then the second thing, what was the second thing? Oh, the books that I had wanted to read in winter for my winter TBR, which will be coming to you guys next week. So there are plenty of books on that as well. But we're gonna start off small and talk about the books I am hoping to read in January. So the first book is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I had tried reading this before Bookmas and I just didn't end up getting to it. I felt like I was rushing myself through it and that was going to affect my enjoyment of it. So I decided to put it down and save it for when I had more time. I might end up reading it in December, but I think chances are I will probably end up saving it for January. But this is Leigh Bardugo's first adult book. It is set at Yale and it deals with ghosts and stuff. I was kind of confused when I first started reading it. I was listening to the audiobook, so I think I'm actually going to physically read it and hopefully I will have a little bit of better luck. Another book that I will be hoping to read in January if I don't get to it before then is The Toll by Neal Shusterman. I am hoping that I will be able to get to this before the end of 2019, but I'm not entirely sure if I will be able to do that. So if I don't, it's definitely going to be made a priority in the beginning of the year. And one of my resolutions was to prioritize more sequels. So I have some sequels on here, and this is definitely one that I really would like to get to. Thunderhead left on like such a cliffhanger. It like threw me. I was like, what is happening? So I definitely need to know what is going to happen. So speaking of sequels, next is The Wicked King by h.leblanc. This I would for sure like to get to because I just got Queen of Nothing in the mail today. It came out a couple of days ago when I'm filming this, but I felt really bad having pre-ordered it. I didn't even know I had pre-ordered it and then got it in the mail and I was like, I haven't even read The Wicked King yet because so many of you guys were asking me if I was excited for Queen of Nothing and I was like, I haven't even read the second book yet, so I definitely need to rectify that. This is one of the sequels that I need to prioritize for sure because it's kind of crazy that I haven't continued with the series yet and I have the completed series. It's the same with the Queens of Renthia series by Sarah Beth Durst. That's definitely one that I need to get to. Like, I just need to stop putting sequels on the back burner and I am going to do that this year. I am determined. But this is the second book in the Cruel Prince series, or I think it's the something of Folk and Air, something like that is the series name, but it is about fairies and it's kind of modern day as well, so it's an interesting mix and I don't remember what happened in the first book, so I'm definitely gonna have to recap myself on that. Next is Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan. This I want to read for a couple of reasons. One, someone told me it was great for winter. Two, gothic fantasy. And three, that's not a couple, but you get the point. The third reason is because I am doing a video which is Boyfriend Picks My TBR, and this is one of the books that he picked for me to read, and he picked them back in like August or something like that, and I haven't gotten the chance to read any of them, so I definitely need to try and read like at least one a month, maybe 2 a month, but I think I'm going to start out with this one. It is a gothic fantasy that deals with bloodletting as the magic, I think. I know it was very hyped up and I was super intrigued by it, and I didn't get the chance to read it, so why not January? Why not? Next is Graceling by Kristin Cashore. This is a romantic fantasy. It's an older YA book, but I've never picked it up. I don't know why, but I had it and then unhauled it, and then I think I found my copy so I didn't have to repurchase it. But after Hannah read it and really enjoyed it, it definitely jumped its way up on my TBR. Now I feel like a romantic fantasy is kind of perfect for the cold, cold month that is going to be January. I'm already dreading it, and that's why I have quite a few fantasies on my pile because I'm gonna need some fantastic fantastical escapes from the snow and the slush and the nastiness of winter. Next is The Light Between Worlds by Laura E. Weymouth. This is sort of like Narnia, so I think cold, I think January, you know, you see where I'm going there, but I think if I don't read this one in January or at least in winter, then I'm going to unhaul it because I've had it for quite a while. I think I need to go with the audiobook for it because there are large passages that are in italics and I find that very hard to read. So I had started listening to the audiobook at one point, but I didn't end up finishing it for whatever reason. So I think this will be a great one for January. I mean, I feel like something about that cover just makes me think of winter and January, and it seems like the perfect time to read it. Next is The Guinevere Deception by Kiersten White. This came out late in 2019, so I didn't get the chance to read it before the end of the year, but it has a beautiful cover. Like, that's part of the reason why I wanted it, to be honest. I know that's very shallow, but like, it's the truth. And Kiersten White is an author that I have read a book and enjoyed by her. I think I've only read one, or maybe I read some of her older stuff. I don't actually know. The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein is the one that I'm thinking of that I really liked though, and this is blurbed by Christina Lauren. And Christina Lauren, if you guys don't know, is like my favorite romance author duo, so I'm expecting romance in here and like romance fantasy. I'm on board for all of that. That sounds great. Also, this is a reimagining of the King Arthur legend. Next is The Cold Is in Her Bones by Peternelle van Arsdale. This is a reimagining of the myth of Medusa. I don't think I've ever read anything like that before, so I'm definitely very intrigued by that premise. It's sort of a mystery with a fairy tale feel where there is this demon that is terrorizing a village, and it says to protect your home from demons, 1, if you see a snake, kill it, then burn it. 2, pour salt where the air comes in, sills, thresholds, and hearths. 3, stay inside after dark, lock tight doors and windows. And 4, pray. So it definitely kind of sounds like something that would be good for fall, but I want to read it now being 2 months in the future next year, but you know what I mean. Now, of course, since I am who I am now, I couldn't do a TBR without including a couple of adult romances, so I do have a couple here that I think I might be wanting to get to at the beginning of the year. Hello, editing Hailey popping in here. So there's actually only one romance here because I read the other one in December, and that was The Simple Wild. That was originally on my December TBR. I didn't think I was gonna get to it, but I did. Yay! And instead, I'm not really sure what other adult romance I'm gonna go for. Lord knows I have. And the first one is Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. So I've never read a historical adult romance, and this one got quite a bit of hype, quite a bit of buzz, so I feel like it would be a good one to go with. The cover is adorable, you know that's important for me. That makes me sound so shallow. Like, I do recognize that what is inside is what counts, and I will read a book with an ugly cover, but it won't draw me in as quickly. I'll have to have heard like good things about it. I know that's terrible, but it's who I am. This is set in England in 1879, and it is a daring Oxford rebel takes on a powerful duke and a love story that threatens to upend the British social order. That honestly sounds awesome, and I'm very interested to see how I'm going to feel about adult historical romances. Hopefully I'll like them, fingers crossed. So those are all of the books on my January TBR. I feel like January is kind of a nice reprieve because you're not busy like at Christmas time, and then there's not that many new and exciting releases that come out in January. It's more so like February you get into that. So I feel like it's a good time to try and catch up on some books that have been on my TBR for a long time, which is another one of my goals for the year because it's gotten out of hand and I need to work on that. But please do let me know what you are planning on reading in January. If you are planning on reading any of these books, your thoughts on them. And I hope you guys have a great start to the decade of reading that we are about to go into. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to click that subscribe button, then click that bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I post. I post new videos twice a week, and you can also follow me on all of my social media. All of my handles and all that stuff is down below for you guys. So thank you once again for watching, and I will see you in my next video soon. Bye!